What's up guys, this is Ultimate iDevice Vids, and today in this video we're going to be checking out 20 iOS 13 tweaks for January 2020. And before we get started, I want to let you guys know of something important. Some of the tweaks that we're going to be talking about in this video do require a dependency called RocketBootstap. I will list all the tweaks that require RocketBootstap in the description down below. Now, the iOS 13 and iOS 12 compatible version of RocketBootstap is only available on the following source that's up on your screen right now and down below in the description. So if you're going to be installing any of the tweaks that require RocketBootstap, make sure you add this source and install the latest version of RocketBootstap from this source in order for your device to run correctly. And of course, all the tweak names, sources, and prices for every single tweak that I'm going to be talking about in this video can be found in the description down below. But alright guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. TapTapLock allows you to easily lock your device by either double tapping or triple tapping any empty area on the home screen. As you can see right there, just a simple double tap will lock my device. And of course, inside the settings for the tweak, you can determine whether you want to use the double tap gesture or the triple tap gesture. CColor allows you to easily see when your next alarm is right from the lock screen. As you can see right here, right at the top, it tells me that I have an alarm today on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. You could also set it to tell you how far away from the current time that is. For instance, as you can see, 3 hours and 25 minutes in this case. And if you guys jump into the settings for this tweak, you can configure a whole host of options, such as the ability to determine how far into the future it's going to search for alarms and display them. As I said earlier, the ability to show how long until that alarm, in addition to some other options, for instance, the ability to reposition the indicator to wherever you want on the lock screen. AssistAbility 13 allows you to access some very useful options right inside the reachability view. So this is something that's normally empty space in iOS. This tweak takes advantage of it. As you can see right here, I could access favorite apps that are configurable through the settings and easily launch them right through here. I could also access power options like respring, reboot, and similar things, and several different other options. And again, this is all customizable inside the settings for the tweak. You can customize everything the way you want and map everything out. And something I want to point out is the push from bottom option. This makes reachability come up from the bottom. And while push from bottom doesn't make it easier to access the options that this tweak provides, you do lose the function of being able to bring things from the top of the screen to the bottom, so it's up to you whether you want to use that option. CozyBadges allows you to replace the standard red app badges by highlighting the name of applications that have notifications, as you can see right here. Now, as you can see, you can customize the colors as well. By default, it's going to color the label based on the color of the application that the label is on. You could also set up custom phrases for specific apps. For instance, for the FaceTime app, I have it say missed calls. For mail, I have it say emails. For messages, and so on. And of course, all this can be set up inside the settings for the tweak. ColorMeNotifs customizes the color of your notifications based on the color of the app that the notification came from. It also customizes your widgets based on the color of the app that the widget is associated with, as you can see right here. And it customizes your music player based on the color of the album artwork of the music that you're currently listening to, as you can see right here. And if you guys jump into the settings for this tweak, of course, there's a whole host of customization options to configure it to your liking. And I also wanted to show you guys this tweak with dark mode enabled. As you can see, it looks quite good, especially with this outline effect that I have enabled on it, as you can see right there, with the widgets as well. Noire allows you to easily enable and disable dark mode just by pulling to refresh inside the settings app, like so. FloatingDock Plus 13 brings the iPad style dock to the iPhone, in addition to some gesture-based controls for the dock and full split-screen multitasking from the iPads to the iPhone. And of course, this can all be configured inside the settings for the tweak. So, as you can see right here, I do have the iPad style dock on the iPhone. In addition to my standard 4 dock applications, I have access to my recent apps over here on the right. I'm also able to add many more than the standard 4 dock applications to the dock, as you can see right here. And inside the settings for the tweak, you could actually determine how many applications you want to be allowed in the dock. The same thing goes for the recent apps. You can configure how many recent apps you want to show. And as I mentioned earlier, there are also gesture-based controls. You can configure what you want them to do inside the settings, but by default, if you swipe from left to right, it'll take you to your cover sheet just like this. If you swipe from right to left, it'll take you to your control center. And if you swipe down, it'll bring reachability down like that. And if you swipe up and hold, it'll take you to the app switcher. And if you guys do have the split screen multitasking feature enabled in the settings for the tweak, it works the same way it does on iPads. You open up an application and then bring up the dock. Then you basically could pop up an application in slide over mode, and of course in this state you could interact with both apps at the same time. However, from here you could actually pop it into full split screen mode and interact with both applications at the same time right here. And I think it's worth mentioning that the split screen multitasking works best in landscape mode, of course, because everything's a whole lot bigger. Tune allows you to change up the way your lock screen / cover sheet media player looks. At the time that I'm recording this video, it comes with 3 styles. Here's the first one called Spin, and here is the next one. This one's called Helios. And here's the next one. This one's called Vega. And if you guys jump over to the settings for this tweak, of course, you have the ability to switch between these 3 styles, in addition to the ability to customize all 3 of these styles through individual sections, and some additional customization options for the tweak. UVLock allows you to easily enable and disable orientation lock right from the stock video player in iOS. So for instance, let's say you're in Safari, or again, any other instance where the stock video player is available. As you can see right here, we do have this option to easily enable and disable orientation lock right from this interface. So let's say you keep your device in orientation lock frequently, and you wanted to watch a video in landscape mode. Of course, normally in iOS, in order to disable it, you'd have to go into the control center to do so, but with this tweak, you could just disable and enable it right from the video player easily. Stratosphere will move your dock to the top of the home screen as opposed to the bottom, as you can see right here. CoolFolder will remove the background for folders when they're showing on the home screen and when they're open, as you can see right here, going for a clean look. It also adds this really neat border effect, once again, when they're open and when they're showing on the home screen. If you guys jump into the settings for this tweak, you have the ability to enable and disable it, in addition to some other options. SeeColor allows you to add a background color to the control center. As you can see right here, I have this greenish shade going on in the background. And of course, to set this up, you want to jump into settings, then go into SeeColor, and you could select the color here, and then respring to apply the changes. Courier allows you to customize the messages application to your liking. As you can see, I have a custom color in the background, custom colors for the conversations, a custom color for the text in the conversation previews, and if I jump into a conversation, you can see here the bubbles look quite nice, and of course, this is all customizable to your liking. I also have the conversation summaries hidden, as you can see right here, which I really like because it prevents people from peering over your shoulder when you're scrolling through your conversations and reading the last message that was sent. And if you guys jump into the settings for this week, you could begin customizing it to your liking. There are several different custom schemes that it comes pre-installed with. The one that I'm using right now is Blue Sunset. There's a whole host of others, and of course, you could customize everything to your liking through custom color configuration for a whole host of things inside the Messages app. MagmaPro allows you to customize your control center with custom colors. As you can see right here, I have a custom color added for tons of things inside the control center, and of course, this could all be configured inside the settings for the tweak. A whole host of color customization options in here. LowPowerDND will automatically enable and disable low power mode when you enable and disable Do Not Disturb mode. So as you can see right here, if I enable Do Not Disturb mode, my device goes into low power mode just like that, and if I disable Do Not Disturb, low power mode is off. And if you guys jump into the settings for this tweak, you have the ability to enable and disable the tweak. You also have the ability to determine whether you want low power mode to disable with Do Not Disturb mode. Little 11 is a great tweak to bring some features from the newer devices like the iPhone 10 and above to your older devices like your iPhone 8 and below. And some of these features include the gesture-based controls, the modern status bar from newer iPhones, the iPhone 10 and above keyboard, the lock screen shortcuts, picture-in-picture mode, and a whole host of other things. Even this rounded effect on the corners of the screen to emulate an iPhone 10 and above effect. And a whole host of other things that can be configured inside the settings for the tweak. And while Little 11 does allow you to enable the iPhone 10 and above keyboard on your older devices like your iPhone 8 and below, among other settings, if you guys just want the iPhone 10 and above keyboard, nothing else, then Keyboard X allows you to do just that. As you can see right here, you get the new design with the bar at the bottom with the emoji and dictation buttons. HideNCText will hide the text that appears above notifications in the cover sheet and lock screen area saying Notification Center. As you can see here on the device on the left, normally it'll say Notification Center like this, but as you can see here with the device on the right with HideNCText, it's completely gone, going for a cleaner look. I Know the Time will hide the time and date from appearing when you scroll over to your widgets page on the cover sheet and lock screen area. As you can see here on the left, normally in iOS, the date and time will stay in the widgets page, but as you can see with this tweak, it completely hides. And here's another tweak for the cover sheet and lock screen area. This one's called No Older Notifications Text. So normally in iOS, when you have an empty cover sheet area, as you can see here, it'll say No Older Notifications. But with this tweak, it's completely empty. Again, going for a cleaner look. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.